Hello, I'm live. Oh my goodness, finally. Welcome everybody, welcome. We had some technical issues there and Selassie, who we'll hear from in a little bit, got them resolved. So we're not stuck in endless 5-minute loops. I'm so glad. I saw my next hour flash before my eyes. But welcome to the Rocket Hour CodeQuest Student Showcase. Welcome to parents, welcome to students, welcome to teachers, and welcome to all of the Rocket Hour tutors and staff and family. It is wonderful to have you here. Tonight, we are going to be sharing some of the amazing projects that were created over the CodeQuest Learn phase. It was a 1-week, 5-session experimental course that was run during the holidays. And after that, students had a week to submit a project. We're going to be going over the very best of those submissions. And we're also going to be showing some behind the scenes footage. What was created at home? What was, can we see a sense, an essence of what the project creation phase felt like? And also a big shout out to our incredible adjudicators who have spent a lot of time poring over the projects and giving some amazing insights. We'll be hearing from them as well. And of course, announcing the winners. So with that being said, we have gathered some behind the scenes footage to create a CodeQuest documentary, a little bit of a film that gives us a sense of the spirit of what Rocket Hour classes are all about. So if we can switch that on and get a sense of the feeling, the CodeQuest documentary.
At the beginning of the lesson, I remember when you wrote a simple prompt with HTML and H1 and P1, I was so scared. I was like seeing all these numbers and letters, and I'm like, what is this? But now that I know, I'm happy with it. I learned different design styles. I learned how to make my own design styles. And yeah, I think it was really good.
And the focus in courses like this is very much on creativity. It's on building, it's on making, it's on working out what am I trying to do and how can I find the words to express what I want to create.
AI actually helped me do all of this.
Wow.
I just had to give it the ideas and what it had to do.
The AI space and technology in general is an experimental field. When you're running on this creative train with this assistant that can unblock you and help you develop things, they just have this desire to learn more and more because they see that they can use it to build something.
Finally, I did it.
Yes.
That AI is awesome. It brings my vision into the screen.
We are ByteForge, great minds, greater code.
The coders that create worlds in lightning speed.
Think fast and wire it up.
It is important to experiment and to break free of the systems that you've been using and to be an early adopter. And at the same time, it's important to follow principles that will last a lifetime.
Does anyone know what a public website is? Let's start there. Danny, hit.
Public website is a website that anyone in the world can access from any place in the world.
Exactly. So it being public, it is accessible by anyone.
If you have knowledge about something, then you can share the knowledge on the website. Other people can see the knowledge that you share.
You can show the world who you are.
Except it could be like advertisement. You could have ads running in your website.
Yes.
It could also give you a profit.
I learned to use VS Code because before I thought it was just an app laying around on my dad's laptop.
Discover your secret Hogwarts identity. I went and generated the images, then put them on here.
Then you'd have to click next customer, and then obviously they all have their own personalities.
We're not really teaching them JavaScript here, but we're teaching them to locate a problem, understand how to fix that problem, and understanding how to use AI to fix that problem.
We have a header navigation that it doesn't work yet. I'm gonna make it work.
Can you guys see my VS Code?
Yeah.
Well, I figured it out because I kind of just took it like how we import images.
Once they they're able to solve a certain problem using AI. They're already thinking, there's another problem that I have that could be solved in ABC different ways, and this is how AI would help me.
There was this drive that the kids had of like wanting to understand more, wanting to like work through the space.
The satisfactory moments when you see all that code coming out from the VS Code from the AI, it's just so cool.
I feel like the more you use it, the more you realize how really, really powerful it is.
I definitely saw kids just getting out of their shell.
My favorite part of this week was making the website. I enjoyed how it was so immersive.
I love everything about this.
I got to share my websites with the world.
Rocket Hour really teaches you to think outside the box. It makes you feel like the sky's the limit to your coding, and really it is.
I learned so many new skills I didn't even know were possible. 10 out of 10 would do it again. I say that a lot when I really like the experience, and it was so fun.
Website successfully launched! Yay! Bye!
Amazing. A big shout out to all of the students that were featured in that little documentary and that participated in CodeQuest. A few thoughts before we move on. AI is changing so much. It's obviously a buzzword. There's a lot of hype around it, but in a meaningful way, it's allowing young people to focus on building projects that they care about. And one of the concerns is that, does that mean that fundamental technical skills are no longer important? And what we found during the CodeQuest and during other Rocket Hour experiments is that working with AI takes you so far, and then you start needing to understand a little bit more on the technical side to build more advanced projects. But what is wonderful about having your first experience of building projects with an AI mediated system is it gives you that sense of, I built something that did something. I built something that met a need in the world. My sister wanted a game and I built something for her. My mother wanted a website for her business and I was able to create that. And there is so much value and there's so much joy in creating things that people use, that people need. And the motivation that comes from that to continue a technical or non-technical journey in the realm of technology is so powerful. So a big shout out, not just for the websites that were produced and the things that were created, but a big shout out to the enthusiasm and the emotion that underpins that learning journey. Because emotion, or learning rather, is fundamentally an emotional journey. You have to enjoy what you're doing to get the most out of it. And that joy is not an easy joy. It's a joy with challenges and problems that strike along the way, but it is ultimately a joy that will propel you to build more things and to create more things and to learn more as you progress further. And so we are going to be mentioning some of the real standout submissions now, but I want to preface that by saying that the work we received was phenomenal. Phenomenal in the sense of the care and the love and the time that was put into it, the desire to help other people or to build something that was really high quality. It was absolutely self-evident from the videos we received and from the projects themselves. So a massive well done to everyone. We've always said it is about the learning. It is not about placing. So with that being said, we're going to mention some particularly standout projects. The judging was hard. These are the projects that did not make it to the final selection phase. So there were 11 standout projects, or I think 12 standout projects, 11 projects that made it to the final judging phase are finalists, and then 5 winners, so to speak, 3 runners up, a second place and a first place. So we're going to mention the standout projects that didn't quite make it to the final judging phase, but nevertheless were absolutely incredible. And with that being said, I'm going to introduce the 3 wonderful tutors from the 15 Rocket Hour tutors who assisted with CodeQuest, incredible individuals. And I am going to welcome Holly, Justin, and Selassie.
Welcome everyone. There are no words that can truly express how proud I am of each and every one of you. I was absolutely blown away by the creativity and the hard work you all displayed. You are now a part of a group of legendary young creators, so I want you to soak that in. But with that being said, it was incredibly difficult to choose which projects to showcase today. These students we're highlighting stood out for their unique approaches, compelling stories, and impressive executions. To start, we would like to congratulate Shabam for his website, Eco Guardians, Zara for Just a Thought, Aryan for Code Beast Arenas, and Bjorn for the cheat sheet. All of you excelled in craftsmanship and delivering a polished design with smooth user flow and a thoughtful feature. I'm going to hand over to Selassie now to present the next batch.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Holly. Just to reiterate everything Holly said, it was a pleasure teaching and later going through all the projects. And these are just a few of the amazing projects that we got to go through. And my shout outs go to Ronan for his Ocean Explorer game, Kyle for Coin Catcher, Contender for the new Fortnite, and Jace for Math Kingdom. All of these projects had one particular thing in common, and that was an amazing user interface and being quite fun games. Now, Mr. Justin, you can go over your projects.
Thank you, Mr. Selassie. Yeah, I think we got to see an amazing set of students applying what they learned. But there are some really standouts that went above and beyond what they were taught. Three main sets are Matthew with his spelling quiz, adding to what he's taught, Leon with his serious stats, and finally Daniel with his rugby game we actually saw a sneak peek of. All three did a fantastic job of implementing things like login pages, databases, and really brought a new perspective to these various different tasks. Very impressive.
Thank you, guys. Amazing. A few words. What do students actually learn in a course like this? What is taken away? When working with AI, can't the machine just do anything? Absolutely not. So first of all, our students have come with a vision, an idea of something, a gap in the world that needs to be filled. Secondly, they need to be able to articulate that vision in words. They have to describe the thing that they are looking at, and that is not always an easy task. Even at a non-technical level, to just be able to describe the functionality, the look, the feel, it doesn't happen instantaneously. So what they're learning is both how to put their dreams and their aspirations into, how to pin those down, and then how to translate those into both technical and non-technical words. Things like user interface elements, things like cause and effect and conditionality, they have to find the words to express that. And so we have, we're going to get to our finalists who all put a sizable amount of work into nailing down what they wanted. And we are going to, first of all, go over some of the criteria that were used to select these finalists. So once again, we were looking at creativity. We were looking at something slightly outside of the norm, something outside of the box. Then we were looking at the craftsmanship, the attention to detail that was placed when actually working through this. We're looking to see if the students really learned something. Did they take what they had brought with them and use that and apply the knowledge from the 5 lessons of the learn phase? And finally, were they able to communicate what they had learned adequately? So it wasn't just a final project that we were looking at. There was many, many final projects. It was also a selection of 3 demonstration of learning videos where students described what they had built and described how they had built it and described what they had learned along the way. So before we announce the winners with a drum roll, I'm going to announce our incredible judging panel, who has been through every one of the next 11 projects with a fine-tooth comb. So to start off with, the incredible Africa Milana, who is the host of the Early Breakfast Show on Cape Talk and 702. He interviews all sorts of personalities, business leaders, politicians, the man in the street, and thought leaders from across South Africa. And with many, 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 many years in media and beyond, Africa brings a just general industry knowledge and a love for inventive and creative things. So welcome, Africa. Wonderful to have you with us.
John, it's lovely to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me. And my word, you made reference to enthusiasm and the emotion. And I think it showed itself in the projects that made it through to the judges. It was a final, difficult process for us, but I enjoyed it immensely.
And then, of course, Mr. or Dr. rather, Michael Malai, who is an applied scientist at Amazon Web Services in Seattle. Michael has one of the finest minds that are to be found with a real eye for detail. So welcome, Michael.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for the introduction, John. Yeah, I was really excited when you invited me to be an adjudicator on this because AI has been playing a much larger role in the work that myself and my colleagues are doing. And yeah, I was very curious to see what newcomers to code would do with it. Because of course we're all old hands, we're all stuck in our ways. So I wanted to see what fresh minds would bring to things. And to be honest, I was completely blown away. I was really impressed with the passion that the students brought. They're really trying to bring something that meant something to them to life. And yeah, it was incredible to see what they were able to accomplish in so little time. Also, I noticed that through the process learning videos, I saw that students, would get stuck and hit roadblocks, but they're always tenacious and sort of found a way around it, and that used that passion to, drive towards the thing that they really cared about. So that was awesome to see, and it led to some some really really impressive projects that, as Africa said, were very hard to choose between. They were all really really great. So yeah, absolute pleasure to review this.
Thanks, Michael. And then finally, we have the wonderful Christopher Harrison, who is the Deputy Headmaster at Prenwyn Preparatory. And Chris is an experienced and very passionate educator with a key eye for real learning. So thank you for joining us, Chris. Chris, do you have any insights you would like to share?
Yeah, generally on the process, I mean, the question that came to me was how this is so new. Everything that these kids are doing is just so new, and it's so sort of really pushing the envelope. And so the question is, how do you judge something that's never been done before? All of these projects that have been created by primary school children, which have the level of a professional product at the end of it. And how do you judge all of that? So a couple of things, just in terms of what I looked at with the judging was what was the need that was identified? I think the challenge you threw out to the kids was solve or meet a need, something like that. And so I looked at, well, what was the need? How relevant is the need? How important was the need? And how well was it addressed? And then the other big thing was just the user experience. And I think the temptation is when you have an assistant that can do anything for you, the temptation is to get it to do everything for you and make a website that has all the features all the time. And I think the real skill is going to be learning to discern what needs to be on the site and what doesn't need to be on the site.
Thank you, Chris. Africa and Michael, I don't know if you had a full chance to express any thoughts or observations. So maybe circling back, Africa again. I don't know if there's anything you'd like to add.
No, absolutely. Michael, I think out of the three of us is the one who's the most techno savvy. So I defaulted to him when it came to those aspects of it. But like Chris, I was looking to see what my experience with the engagement with the website was going to be, the subject matter that was covered and how it relates not only to the person who designed it and created it, but obviously to the person who's receiving the information. What I was impressed by was how these learners are embracing AI. I think it's us Otopis who are, it's all new, but this wonderful tool we have now, so let's play with it. And it's amazing how that showed itself quite amazingly in the process. There was no laziness here, but there was a maximizing benefit from a tool that exists that was shown, I think, in all of the projects that I certainly went through. So it was incredible, really, really amazing.
Thank you, Africa. A thought there is using the tool to its maximum benefit. And I think one of the interesting things about new tools is you can it's a little bit like swimming. You can sit and read the book on swimming, and you can study, go to swimming lectures, and look at all the swimming statistics and rate the best ways of swimming. But until you get in the pool, you don't get much done. And I think in the world of technology, that is also true. You can talk about AI and debate it and have very learned conversations, but until you get in there and actually start using the tool, you don't really know the limits and the affordances of this new tool. Michael, Chris, any concluding thoughts?
Yeah, I think something that I really liked about the journey was often students started off with a sense of trepidation. It was overwhelming at first. And I loved seeing that journey of going from, being a little bit apprehensive and overwhelmed to being completely in it and almost forgetting themselves and just being completely wrapped up in the process of creating. So I think that was my favorite thing about reviewing these. Yeah.
Yeah, and then from my side, I think the one skill that has come out really strongly is the ability to communicate. And so not only communicate on the videos, but also be able to put in words to your AI what you would like it to create. So that kind of prompt engineering requires quite an advanced language skill set. And so I think that literacy from a basic level and going all the way through primary school, literacy is an old skill, but it's also a future skill. And I think it's going to be so important that people are able to write concisely and succinctly to get what they want and also understand the feedback that they're getting from the AI.
Yes. One of the interesting things about prompting is when working with these tools myself, I work with a developer and with AI-assisted coding, and you often find that an email that you shoot off to a developer specifying, can we talk about this feature and add this and do the data piping in this way to our database and takes on a good letter to a developer, takes on much the same tone from a product manager as a well-written spec that needs to be implemented by an AI system. So you find that they're very, very similar skills. Lovely. And so the drum roll, once again, we are going to be, what are we going to be doing? Oh, we are going to be presenting the top 11 projects. So we've got a little video to present, which is going to go over the 11 finalists of which we selected the top 6. So let us have a look at the 11 finalists.
Hello everyone, I'm Benjamin Roy.
Hello, my name is Asia.
My name is Lukenya.
Hi, my name's Lila and this is my website and the story about how I create. Welcome to TikTok Kids Safari. Let's go.
Amazing. Oh, no. Am I live? Am I on? I think I am. Yes, I am. So those were our 11 finalists, of which we are going to start off by announcing the 3 runners-up. So these were absolutely exceptional projects. And of course, I must say that it was incredibly hard to produce a unanimous vote on the top projects. So well done to all 11 of the finalists. And let's have a look at the 3 runners-up. And I am going to ask Chris if you can please present the 3 runners-up.
Hi, John. Thanks. The runners-up are presented in no particular order. So these are 3 projects which are part of the top 5, but didn't place second or first. And I'm presenting them in no particular order. So there's no ranking here, but these are the 3 equal runners-up. The first runner-up we felt had a really relevant need that they had met, and they had met it in such a wonderful way and such a personal way. And it was about this child's grandfather who had been diagnosed with kidney issues and had to be on a special diet for the kidney issues. And so this person created a website called the Renal Pantry, full of wonderful recipes for people who are suffering with kidney issues. And so one of the runners-up that we chose was Asia, and Asia is from Islamia College. So well done to Asia. We thought your project was really good and it met a wonderful need. Another runner-up that we chose was somebody who had come up with a website to teach coding, but had based the teaching of coding on his own experience of learning coding, which I thought was such a clever way of doing it. This website was really, really well created. And in fact, in the comments that I had written, I had actually, going through this website, written that this person had recreated Rocket Hour lessons during Rocket Hour, which I thought was really good. He recreated the entire Rocket Hour. And that person is Liam, with Liam's Coding Journey. And Liam is from Koa Academy. And then the other runner-up that we chose was a project which was particularly technical. It was really, there were so many features. It was feature-rich, and it was really well thought out. The architecture of this project was absolutely outstanding, and it met a really important need as well, which was trying to get people in a community outdoors, socializing. It was a community-focused website, and we thought that this person deserved a spot in the top 5, and that person is Leon, and it was Leon's project called My Neighborhood. Leon is from Nebula College. So well done to our 3 runners-up, Asia, Liam, and Leon, for your exceptional projects. Well done, guys. We are now going to get John back on the screen, and John will chat to us about who is going to be second and first.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, so well done to our 3 runners-up. With no further ado, we are going to hand over to Africa, who is going to announce our second place winner, who has won the Meta Quest VR headset, along with 2 free months of Rocket Hour classes. Over to you, Africa.
Thank you very much, John. Just once again to reiterate how difficult a process this was for us as judges. And your tutors did have an input into this process as well, by the way, just to be very, very clear. This project that is awarded second place is an exciting one for me. It is primarily an educational tool that is meant to teach you and I about climate change, about its effects, and most importantly, what solutions are available. It's interactive, as any good website should be. It's got games, it's got quizzes, it's got an informational section. In fact, it's got a timeline that shows you, if we do the right thing, this is where we can go to and how we can get this wonderful only planet that we have, really, to restore itself and to heal. But if we don't, this is how we're going to be going backwards and ultimately destroying this beautiful home for all of us and for generations to come. You'll understand, of course, that this is something that's important to this particular group because they want a future, right? It's a tool that's designed for students, for teachers, and really for everyone who's interested in learning all about climate change. The information was incredible. How it was laid out was incredible. And I suppose there are some improvements that are available there. And I'm sure John and the team are going to talk you through it. But what I got to learn from it was outstanding in many ways. As with any educational tool, there's a test element to it, which was quite fun. I did do well, which is good to know. And most importantly, the student who presented this presented it with incredible passion, with incredible enthusiasm, and truly demonstrated for me one of the greatest areas of growth from the beginning of the process to the end of the process, which was certainly something important for me to be able to celebrate. So it gives me great pleasure today to announce that the second placed winner of this wonderful, wonderful contest is none other than Sarah, who gave us Climate Countdown and is from Hurleyvale Primary School. Congratulations to you. We are so proud. Thank you very much, John.
Fantastic. And I do believe we have got a video, Sarah's project demo video, which we can have a look at and see a little bit more about the second.
Hi there, it's me, Sarah, and in this video, I'm going to tell you the story of my website and show you a bit about it. So, what is the story of my website? Power plants. Literally, power plants. I was passing them the other day and I thought, don't these people know how much pollution they're putting in the air? Wait, what if they don't know? So I made a website for them and for educators, teachers, and students, anybody who wants to learn more about climate change. So let me show you a bit about it. We've got the homepage, which has the introduction. We've got some questions and answers. And for the evidence, I've added some links to other websites that you can double check. We've got a negative timeline, which shows what happens to our world if we don't stop pollution. The collapse, 21,000. That's not so far away. So what do we do? That's where the solution page comes in. We have solutions that help, and there's many different options to choose from. So if you can't do all of them, it's fine. Just choose a few. You will be helping. Then, if we do those solutions, we have a positive timeline that shows slowly what happens to our Earth if we do all these solutions. And then lastly, we have renewal and balance. This is where humanity and wildlife live together in harmony. So, have you been listening? Well, we have a quiz me page to see. As you can see over here, I'm just going to choose random answers because this is just a demonstration. And what happens if you don't answer all the questions and you press results? Well, it will remind you, and then you can choose the correct answer. When you press results and you're done, it will show your score. Oh no, I got 30%. Well, it's fine because we've got the question, the answer, and if you got it wrong or right. And you can always retry if you'd like. If you get 100%, there's a cool surprise. So try to get 100%. Then for the game section, we've got mini games. As you can see, Plant a Tree Tycoon, Powerhouse, and Smart Shopper are coming soon, so stay tuned. But for now, Trash Organizer is ready, so let me show you it. Over here, you have to sort the trash into the correct bins, and if you put it in the wrong bin, you lose a score and it shakes to show you it's wrong. This game is endless, so you can retry if you'd like to restart your score. But let's go back to minigames. And lastly, we've got the Smarty page for all the Smarties. Here are some smart questions that you might be wondering that we've answered. As you can see over here, there's 5 smart questions. I hope you enjoyed my website. And remember to have fun and enjoy.
Well done, Sarah. And my apologies for pronouncing your name incorrectly. It is Sarah, not Sarah. Handing over to Michael to announce our grand champion, our first place prize.
Hello again, everyone. So the winning project was driven by passion for the natural environment. And it was all about educating the visitors on the fauna in the greater Cape Town area. And yeah, from the moment I visited the site, it was clear that there was passion in every single corner of it. I found the passion infectious. I was certainly like on board this train and wanting to learn more. And at the heart of the website were these information cards about various animals that you could find around town. And I found myself learning a lot. I couldn't stop clicking on them because there were lots of these things that I didn't know. So it was very, very fun and engaging and very educational. And something I really loved as well is a map feature which allowed you to look for animals that were in your area. So, did you know that, for example, there are oyster catchers right nearby you? And I love that connection to the broader world. And sort of furthering that connection to the broader world, what the website did a great job of is for people who are wanting to learn more about causes in conservation, it had many links to partner websites and various places people could learn more and actually do more about these things that they've become passionate about. So for that connection, I found was an absolute delight. So I think we already know who this project is. But yeah, without further ado, the winner of CodeQuest is, and I believe there's a drum roll maybe? I'll do one myself on the desk here. Is Loic for his project Cape Town Kids Safari. Please congratulate me and join me in congratulating Loic.
Welcome to Cape Town Kids Safari. Let's go. This website was created to inspire kids from all walks of life to explore, learn about, and protect the unique wildlife right here in Cape Town. You can learn more about this in the About section, but for now, let's explore. This interactive map allows the children to complete either a virtual or real-life scavenger hunt. They can click on the animal, meet this critter, and they can see a whole bunch of information about it, including how rare it is to spot, about it, how you can spot it, its threats, how to help it, and what real-life wildlife heroes that are helping to protect the animal. Here, wildlife to discover. This is the version of the map, but just the species in scrollable cards. And then, of course, tips for exploring safely. And my favorite, chat to Talkie and complete an eco challenge. I would love to connect him to a server to make him a kid-friendly chatbot. But for now, I'll just enter a number from 1 to 10, and he'll give me a super cool eco challenge that I can complete to earn eco points. Here is a quiz based on the content of the website where you can earn badges and download a certificate. And here's a replay button. And then when the weather's glum, here are 4 awareness games that the children can play, including species like the Cape leopard toad and loggerhead turtles. And now I've created a mock-up login page for myself, where it shows where a person can log the eco challenge badges they have achieved, complete world challenges, their quiz results, their sightings, and their favorite critters. And most importantly, this site was created by LGR, a kid who is nuts about nature and how to protect it. One AI prompt.
Well done to Loic. And a big congratulations to all of our finalists, to all of the outstanding mentions, and to indeed everybody who took part in CodeQuest. A few important announcements. For those of you who have taken part in CodeQuest, there is a next step. So you will be continuing. You will be invited into the next chapter, which is going to involve an intensive in game design. That is the focus, along with some slightly more technical exposure to JavaScript and HTML. And likewise, for those of you who have not yet taken part in CodeQuest, for those out there, potentially teachers and parents, the good news is that we are going to be doing another one in September. So if you head to rockethour.co.za than CodeQuest. But I must say a huge thank you to a number of people. And first of all, Africa, Chris, and Michael, we could not have done this without you. Thank you so much for your insights, for your time to go over each and every one of those videos. There were indeed 3 videos, 3 long video submissions for each project. So it was a considerable time investment and absolutely couldn't have done this without you. So thank you so much. Cheers, guys. So, rockethour.co.za CodeQuest, for those of you who are interested in signing up for our September iteration, once again, it is free. There is no charge to CodeQuest. And for those of you who have already partaken in CodeQuest, the next step will be mailed to you tomorrow, where we are diving into the architecture of game design and machine choice. A little bit more low-level code, but also some very cool outputs. And then, of course, there are some very big thank yous that need to be given. So this might appear like there are 2 or 3 people who are running the whole show, but in fact, there's a very large team that makes such an event like this possible. First and foremost, behind this particular webinar are Paige and Selassie, who have put it together. So thank you, Paige and Selassie. To Hendrik, Luke, who does our dev, Sarah, Jessica, Misha, Dieter, Caitlin, Megan, Adam, and Kelly, who are in the Rocket Hour team. Thank you so much. And of course, the real stars of the show, the incredible tutors. Of course, there are many Rocket Hour tutors, but the ones involved in CodeQuest, Holly, Justin, and Selassie, who have put hours of their time and extra hours of their time into making this happen. Thank you so very much. And thank you to everybody who's watched from whatever corner you came. And I hope to see you on the next one. For those students who were not featured tonight, see if you can spot your name in the credit roll. Good evening, everybody. Have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend when you get there.